Here we're just going to run through some of the uses of group 2 metals and group 2 metal compounds. The first of these is the use of magnesium hydroxide. Now, the use of this relies on the fact that magnesium hydroxide is a base and therefore is used as an antacid. It's used to neutralise excess stomach acid. Again, we'll just have a quick look at the equation. So that will react with any excess stomach acid, so HCl, as the acid in the stomach. And hoping you can finish that equation off, you would get magnesium chloride and 2 moles of water. The next we need to look at is calcium hydroxide, and again, as with magnesium hydroxide, it relies on the fact that it's a base and it neutralises acidic soil. So if your soil's too acidic for your crops to grow, put some bare calcium hydroxide down, neutralises the soil, means your crops have got a better pH in which to grow in. The other group 2 compound we're going to have a look at is barium sulfate. And that's used in medicine as something called a barium meal. And that's used to, it helps diagnose problems in the digestive tract. And it's the use of barium sulfate relies on it being insoluble. Now, it may ask you in a question, a very popular question is that soluble barium compounds are actually toxic. So why is it that we can use this barium sulfate in medicine to actually have this inside our bodies? The issue is that barium sulfate doesn't have any, it only has a very, very tiny amount of barium ions in solution because it's so insoluble, so it's not an issue for taking barium sulfate in medicine because it has such a low concentration of these soluble aqueous barium ions. So that's some of the quick uses of some of the group 2 compounds. The next thing we'll look at is a use of a group 2 metal. And one of these uses is to extract titanium. And titanium is a very, very useful metal. It's a fantastic metal because it's very strong. It's doesn't rust, and it's a lot lighter than something like iron. Problem with titanium, it's just very, very, very expensive to extract. Now, titanium usually exists as an ore called rutile titanium oxide. And when I want to extract titanium oxide, the first thing I need to do is react it with carbon and chlorine. Now, what that does, that gives us titanium chloride and carbon monoxide as well. That's the first step. The step that we are interested in is the use of this group 2 metal, is getting the titanium from the titanium chloride. And what we use then is magnesium. And this really is just a metal displacement reaction. And we get titanium metal and 2 magnesium chlorides. And it's this equation that you need to remember because it's the one that involves the group 2. Titanium would be it'd be used a lot more. Unfortunately, it is very, very expensive to extract. And that is the uses of group 2 metals and their compounds.